So before I go on my little rant, I want to establish one undeniable fact, that I am a white guy. So you might say, why does this matter? Why is this relevant? It's a way to make girls feel bad. It's a way to manipulate girls into actually not dating white guys. Or when you say something like, oh, Asian girls like white guys, or another popular one is Asian girls are easy, or foreigners think Asian girls are easy, or foreigners think you're easy. It's a way to manipulate girls into feeling bad or feeling more guilt if they happen to find someone who's not their race attractive. So let me give you a really good example of this. So in South Korea, it's very popular. It's a very popular myth that foreigners think Korean girls are easy. It's also perpetuated that foreigners go to South Korea to spread diseases, and they also say that foreigners go to South Korea to break your heart and get you pregnant, and they think you're easy.
외국인들을 쉽게 볼 수 있는 곳들을 찾아가 봤습니다. 거리 곳곳에서는 외국인들과 한국 여성으로 보이는 커플들이 과감한 포즈로 활보하는 모습을 볼 수 있었는데, 한국 여성들이 많이 찾는다는 한 클럽을 가봤습니다. 이곳에선 눈길조차 두기 어려울 정도의 애정 행각을 쉽게 볼 수 있는데요. 마치 영화의 한 장면이라고밖에 생각할 수 없는 스킨십. 이들의 이런 행위는 과연 신뢰가 쌓인 관계 속에서 이루어지고 있는 것일까요? 이 점입니다. 취재진은 피해 사례자와 전화를 시도해봤습니다.
여보세요?
네, 안녕하세요. 저희 MBC 세상보기 CC가 제수님인데요.
무슨 일이시죠?
외국인과 사귀시다가 피해를 당하셨다는 이야기를 듣고 연락이 주셨어요.
And what's funny about this claim is fucking every single foreigner I've ever met in South Korea, they'll admit, yo, man, it's rough. Being a foreigner in South Korea is not easy. There is a lot of racism, but girls are way more scared of you, and they're a lot more hesitant to kiss you, or they're very, very scared. And what's funny is every single girl I met in South Korea, they always say the same thing, like, well, you think I'm easy. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, well, I heard that foreigners think Korean girls are easy. And I'm like, so what? And it's like, it's basically, she's more resistant to being around me because she thinks that I think she's easy. Well, who's telling her this? I didn't tell her that. I didn't tell her I think she's easy. None of the foreigners that were in South Korea, they never said that. Oh, the media told her that. Her male friends told her that. Interesting. So why would they tell her that? Well, it's a way for her to feel bad. It's a little bit like when a fat girl calls a hot girl a slut for dressing provocatively. Deep down, she's just jealous. So if you're a Korean guy in Korea, you're sexually frustrated or whatever, and then you know, let's say you're walking around and then maybe you see a foreigner talking to a girl and maybe she's laughing, and it's like, you're angry and you know, he thinks you're easy. It's like, it's a very natural way to, you know, it's just a pathetic little trick. And basically in South Korea specifically, the media and the culture basically convinces them that foreigners think shit they don't think. And it's a way to manipulate them into feeling more guilt and being more conservative around foreigners. So now how can I, pull this analogy to saying that Asian girls like white guys? I feel that Asian guys say this because basically what's going on is Asian guys, they tend, because the culture, like Asian culture, is one that is a little bit more on the polite side. Doing things like approaching or doing things like being aggressive, those can be on the side of being impolite. And because of that, Asian guys, I think, on average, will come off less confident. And so what happens is they get frustrated and they feel that the only demographic that they even have a chance with is Asian girls. And I'm not making this up. I have a lot of close friends who will vouch for this. A lot of my close friends who are Asian are also really confident and really badass. But they're doing it because they're overcoming their issues in the past. So, let's say you're an Asian guy and, you might struggle with being confident. It's very easy to kind of only try to go for Asian girls because you feel like, well, I'm Asian and she's Asian, so, I kind of have a little bit of wiggle room with that. But then let's say you go out and you see an Asian girl talking to a white guy or whatever. It's the same thing. It's like in South Korea, foreigner, oh, you're so mad. Oh, so they think you're easy. Asian girls like white guys. That's the only reason he's talking to that guy. It's because Asian girls like white guys. It's not because I'm not confident and he's funny. It's because Asian girls like white guys. It's the same level of impulsive. You need to attack. You need to make a story. You need to have some kind of bullshit narrative. Another analogy would be, when you see an average or ugly guy with a really hot chick, it's because he's rich. Yeah, it's because he's rich. That's why. Do you see the parallel here? It's guilt, and you need a story to justify why you don't feel good. So, it's because he's rich. It's because Asian girls like white guys. It's because he's it's the same. That's why. Honestly, let's be fucking blunt as shit. The people who say this are always Asian guys. They're always complaining. Oh, it's because Asian girls like white guys. You're so lucky. No. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. Stop saying it. It's fucking stupid. It's not true. You don't observe it at all. And again, before you get upset with what I'm saying, who's the authority on this? Me. I'm a white guy. I've talked to Asian girls all over the place. I've fucking flown across the planet multiple times. I've approached many, 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 many in the street. Many, 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 many in the club. Many, 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 many at Starbucks. Many, 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 many in the street. The girl I'm dating now I met in the street. Okay? So I have a data sample greater than one. Okay? Because I've gone out and tested the theory. Do Asian girls like white guys? And I'm telling you, they don't. Okay? A huge majority of the girls I've talked to, specifically in Asia, they giggle, they laugh, they run away. Or they go, ooh, and they run away. Some will talk, some will chat. Not all of them will meet you up. Even the ones that meet you up, there's a lot of issues dealing with that. I've had girls cry on dates. I've had girls tell me that, I have to lie about who I'm with because if my parents knew I was with a foreigner, they'd be mad at me. Well, if Asian girls like white guys, shouldn't the Asian mom like me? Yeah, so if you think I'm wrong about this, I'd love to hear why. My comments are always just so great and lovely and positive and But yeah, if you want more videos, subscribe and yeah, so I'm out.
Asian and white. And yeah. So, I know a lot of people are wondering why, especially Asian guys who are attracted to Asian girls, they wonder why Asian girls always go for white guys. And I can think of one major thing. Opposites attract. So, if she likes her white guys, I don't see why there's a problem with that. If she likes black guys, I don't see why there should be a problem with that. Honestly, I feel that race shouldn't matter. So sometimes it does though, but I'll get to that, and that's usually only with Asian families. Yes. Okay. So basically, I just want to know, who cares? Like, who cares if she's white and he's black, or if he's white and she's Asian, or she's Asian and he's Hispanic? I really don't care. I don't see why people should care anyway, you know? And some people feel that a race should only be with their own race, and let me tell you something about that. Those people need to STFU or GTFO, one of those things. Or they can do both. Because race shouldn't be the focal point of a relationship. I think, you know, that a relationship should be focused on love and how you feel about each other. And if you're attracted to him or her, then that is what definitely matters. Who cares if they're a different race than you? That just means that you're, you know, expanding the cultures that you've encountered with. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that learning about different cultures is a beautiful thing. And you know, if your spouse is a different culture than you, if your significant other or whatever is a different culture than you, I feel that you should accept them. And you know what? Some of the things that they do, you probably wouldn't do. But as respect to them and, you know, being the nice, good person that you are, you should just, you know, go along with it, you know. Try to show them that you appreciate their culture. Okay, and now to the Asian part, because I feel like I can talk the most about this because I am Asian. And I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube where it's like, oh, I'm Japanese, so my mom wants me to marry a Japanese, or like, I'm Chinese, so my mom wants me to marry a Chinese. Well, I am Asian, but I am a mixed Asian. I am Filipino, Japanese, and Chinese with a little bit of Spanish. So I can't do the whole pure thing, you know. I can't be like, I'm Filipino, I'm pure Filipino, so my mom wants me to date a Filipino. No, I can't do that. But parents, especially, no, Asian parents, let me say that, are very particular about their children dating outside of the race. And especially if it's a daughter. Usually with sons, you know, Asian parents really don't care and stuff like that, or they care less. But with an Asian girl, yeah, you know, your parents definitely are gonna stick it to you to date someone within your race. And here's why. Culture differences. If you are the first generation, more than likely your parents still abide by the rules that were set for dating back in their home country. And you know what? You need to be respectful of that. Sometimes it is difficult to get your parents to understand that you want, you know, like, race doesn't matter, but to them race definitely does matter. And one reason being is because of culture differences. You know, culture is very important to Asian families. You're living in America, wherever you are, you're very traditional. And you know what? If you want to date someone, or if you're going to date someone that is outside of your race and you want to prove to your parents that race doesn't matter, you need to get him or her to be respectful of the cultures, to show your parents that even though he is of a different race, he can still abide by the culture, like the rules set up for your culture. And that just gives that your significant other a lot of brownie points with the parents, because Asian parents are afraid that a different race is going to take away the culture that was imposed on the person, or on their child, from when they were little. And like I said, tradition is very important to an Asian family, which is why Asian parents usually want their children to marry a person of the same race. Because of the culture differences, if you marry the same race, there aren't a lot of cultural differences that can occur, because you guys know the same culture. But I feel that sometimes Asian parents can push it a little bit too far, you know, about dating an Asian, dating your own race or whatever. But you need to understand, if you are a guy and you want to, if you're a non-Asian guy and you want to date a girl that's Asian, there are some things that you need to keep in mind. And number one is to respect her family. It's one thing to respect her, but within an Asian family, you gain the most brownie points by respecting the family, because like once you respect the family, I think, well, in my family at least, once whoever, is interested in me shows attention towards my mom, it shows that they're respectful of not only me but also my culture and my family, which is very, very important. I cannot emphasize this enough, that if you are of a different culture, you need to learn how to respect their culture. You need to, if they sit on the floor when they eat dinner with their legs crossed, you need to do that. You can't say, oh, that's weird. If you love, or if you are interested or into someone right now and they are of a different culture than you, learn to respect their culture. Bye!
Hi guys, so I'm back with another video, and this one's basically going to be addressing some of the issues that I encountered in my rant video, Asian Girls and White Guys, which I put up 4 years ago. It's been getting a lot of negative comments throughout the years, and I just wanted to clear up some things. First off, I didn't make that video just to defend my white man fetish, as a lot of you have been saying. I don't have a white man fetish, just letting you guys know that all of my boyfriends that I've ever dated have been Asian. So, and I know there's gonna be some people that are like, oh, that's because like she thinks like she can't get like a white man, blah blah blah, whatever. But yeah, like, I wasn't trying to make the video just to defend my so-called white man fetish. It was a video basically to say who cares, and then just give kind of dating tips on if you are someone that's not in the same race or in the same ethnicity as your significant other. Like, basically, coming from an Asian girl's perspective, if someone that were white or a different race were to date me, what I would want them to do for me. So yeah, it wasn't supposed to be like a, yes, like defend the white man fetish that I have. So yeah, glad we cleared that up. Second thing is, this issue really isn't a huge deal to me. I just made that video because at the time there was like a lot of like YouTube videos and stuff on it. So I kind of wanted to talk about it. And I'm not ashamed of my culture at all. I love being Asian. We have bomb-ass food, and we have like cute things. Like, everything is just so cute. And I'm really happy that I grew up in such a like rich, like family-oriented culture. So no, I'm not ashamed of my culture, and also I just believe that you should date who you want. I know some issues are like, oh, it's because, or not it's because, sorry. Basically some comments were saying like, oh yeah, well you only see white guys with Asian girls, but you don't see Asian guys with white girls because blah blah blah, because Asian girls just worship white men. I think that it is kind of a double standard, because for the most part you do only see Asian girls with white guys, but the problem I don't think is Asian culture, or like, I don't think the problem is with the person. I really think that the problem and the issue is with the media and how the media portrays people of color. There's not really like an accurate representation of people of color in the media. You have like a few Asian people here and there, but they're usually like kung fu artists or like really nerdy type of guys, which if that's not your type, then of course as someone that everyone is affected by media. So if you're watching something and if you're watching TV and you're growing up seeing this type of portrayal of people of color, then as bad as it is, that's what you're gonna think as you grow up. You're gonna just stereotype. And yeah, I mean, it's sad that you don't really see it the other way around. Personally, I know like a couple of people that it's like the girl is white and the guy is Asian. But I don't think it's fair to put the blame on Asian girls and saying like, oh yeah, it's because of this, blah blah blah. Or like some guys in the comments are saying like, oh yeah, it's because Asian men have tiny penises. And no offense, but why would you want to be with someone just because they like your penis size? I'm sorry. I think that is really shallow, and why would you want to date someone that's shallow? You're trying to build like a connection with this person, and if her deciding factor is the fact that you have a big penis, what does that say about your personality? So that's basically all I wanted to say about that rant. I know it's been posted up on some forums lately, and like I'm kind of scared because someone told me that it was on 4chan, and that's kind of scary. The internet's such a scary place. But yeah, thanks for watching it. And even if you commented something negative, I don't see it as like a bad thing that people are so kind of like ignorant. I just see it as ignorance. Like, I'm here to educate you guys about what I think of like this issue, I guess, if it is an issue. But I mean, if you have nothing nice to say, then you don't have to say anything at all. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this one as well because someone's gonna say something like, oh yeah, like look at her, she's just like defending blah, like her white man fetish and like blah blah blah. But whatever. So anyways, moving on to more positive things. Someone asked me to like do a video as an update on my life. Okay, so lately I have been doing my fashion classes. I am in illustration, a textile class. I am also in a fashion history class and a fashion culture class, which I thoroughly enjoy all of them. I'm also in a fashion production show class, which we are producing a show, and I am fundraising chair, so it is my job to get ready events to raise money for this event. So it's been a handful, and I don't know what else to say. I really enjoy it though. I think I can really see myself being a merchandiser one day. But I'm also not against being a beauty blogger, like a fashion blogger or anything like that, just because I like to write. So maybe I'll get that started one day, once I get like a camera and everything like that, because I'm recording it on like my Surface. So, yeah, what else should I tell you guys? Oh, I think he also asked if I played any instruments. I don't play any instruments currently, but I did take piano for 10 years, so from 5 to 15 I took piano lessons, so I kind of know how to play, but I mainly sing. I think because I haven't played for like years since I'm 21 now, my note reading might be kind of off, but I'm pretty sure I could still figure it out. It just might take me like a while. What else can I update you guys on? That's like pretty much it, I think. There's nothing really that I want to say. So thanks guys for tuning in, and I will see you in my next video coming up soon. Bye.
I want to let you know in advance that this is a video which I'm going to have a little bit of a rant. I'm going to try and make it a constructive rant. Basically, the subject is about mixed relationships, specifically white men and Asian women. In recent years, I'd say roughly the last 10 years, there's been quite a lot of focus on these relationships. White men, specifically Western men, and Asian women, East Asian women. And there's been quite a lot of scrutiny of it. Initially it's sort of light-hearted people, so this is a little bit of a... people didn't take it very seriously. But I've been noticing something of a backlash, so to speak, to the point where it's getting quite prominent online. You see a lot of very hateful comments, very, in my opinion, bigoted comments. Now, I should say I do speak from experience. I'm a white guy, and I've had a relationship with Asian women. I've had experience. So, the sort of stereotypes I tend to notice is that the white guys, this is a stereotype, they are losers, who are desperate, who are weak-minded men, who like to subdue women, who have an Asian fetish, so-called Asian fetish, who like to have control over women. And they're desperate, they can't get a white girlfriend, and so they're resorting to going to Asian girls. The Asian girls are stereotyped as weak, as submissive, as often stereotyped as gold diggers, who only go with the white men because they want their money. So I'd like to break down some of these stereotypes. Firstly, I'm not saying that there aren't examples to be found. I'm not saying that there aren't some white men who will go for Asian women thinking that they are weak. But there's something that needs to be understood here. A lot of Western guys, I think, find a femininity in Asian women that's very appealing. I do myself. And there's a big difference between that and so-called submissiveness or weakness. I'm not saying other women don't have it, but I think it's quite common with Asian women. Now, my question is, what's wrong with that? What is wrong with a heterosexual male being attracted to femininity? In my opinion, that's a completely normal thing in a heterosexual relationship. So, if white guys see this femininity, they're attracted to it. Why is that such a terrible thing? That does not mean that they see these women as submissive. It simply means that it's a theory of opposites attract. They like that femininity. Like I say, I'm not saying there aren't examples to be found of men who will like Asian women because they can control them. But that's patronizing towards Asian women. It's insinuating that they're weak little girls who can't handle themselves. There are many examples of Asian women who are successful business women, who are outspoken, who are strong-minded women. They aren't weak, submissive little girls. So this idea that that's the case needs to be thrown out. As for white men, the sort of stereotypes leveled against them, I have come across many relationships, white men, Asian women, that are very happy, very equal, and frankly, certainly on the surface, seem a lot more happy than some same-race relationships, for want of a better term. And what I resent is this notion that these sort of abusive relationships only exist within mixed relationships, as if you never get violent men or controlling men within a white-white relationship, or a black-black relationship, or whatever. But I think the thing I most resent is these people who talk about men like myself as only going for Asian women. By the way, I don't only go for Asian women. I can honestly say I'm attracted to women from all backgrounds. But this idea that guys like myself are controlling, the question is who's really controlling? Someone who's trying to get on with their life, they're attracted to who they're attracted to, or other people who look at that and think they can judge them without knowing the full story, without knowing the background, and based on some stereotypes that they've come across on the internet, or because they've seen one or two examples, they think that applies to everyone. I treat women with respect and equality in terms of my relationship with them. I get on very well with women, all women. Yes, I have a lot of Asian female friends, and I make no apology for that, but I get on well with women in general. And I am so sick of these sort of stereotypes, and they tend to come from either Western feminists, but then again they will always find a reason to be pissed off at men, and they'll always find a reason to vilify men. This is just the latest, that white guys who go for Asian women must be chauvinistic control freaks who like to keep the women down and this sort of thing. It's nothing of the sort. So it comes from feminists. It also comes from Asian guys sometimes, and this isn't to generalize. I know plenty of Asian guys who couldn't care less, but there are a minority of Asian men who sort of see this. I think it's a jealousy thing. They have this idea in their head it's a sort of form of Western colonialism, like we're taking their women or something. This is also something I resent, because that then insinuates that they have ownership over their women, and that's something I strongly resent. I never look at a girl who has a boyfriend already. I never play games in that way. So these guys, in my opinion, have absolutely no right to say who their countrywomen should and shouldn't be with. I think there is a social phenomenon in this. China, to give an example, has a shortage of women, but you can't blame white guys for that. You can't blame Western guys. If there's any fault in that, it's in Chinese culture, which preferred male babies. That's not my fault. And as for Western feminists, maybe the reason men are put off you is because you never stop bitching about men. You never stop putting men down. You never stop vilifying men. You never stop making men feel guilty. I'm not a chauvinist. I believe in equality. I believe in equal opportunity, and I've often spoken up for women's rights. But I am not going to be told by any feminist, or anyone for that matter, who I should and shouldn't date. It's just a perverse idea that you can dictate who someone else should be with. The only time there might be a case for intervention is if it's a friend of yours and you can see a clear case of abuse going on. But otherwise, it's none of your damn business. In my opinion, love and relationships should be absolutely free. It should be a case of freedom of choice, so long as both people involved are consenting adults, so long as they're not cheating on anyone else, and so long as they treat each other well. Then it's no one else's business. It really, really isn't. And this whole thing about white men and Asian women, the sort of stereotypes that are coming out, like I say, you can find those in white-white relationships, i.e. the submissive aspect and the controlling men aspect, that sort of thing. You can find that in white-white relationships. But why do they not mention this? The reality is they are bigots, and they cannot stand the fact that some white men happen to be attracted to Asian women and happen to be involved in these relationships. And then you get some Asian guys who then try to distort and say, oh, they say similar things, it's white men trying to control these women and so on. It's no one's business but the people involved. And it does bug me, because I know what my intentions are, I know what my values are, and I know I treat all women with respect. Just because I happen to be attracted to Asian women does not mean I have anything against white women or black women or Hispanic women. People just happen to have things that I just particularly like to happen. I just happen to particularly like Asian women. And that's my right. And it does not make me a bigot or a chauvinist or anything else that you may imagine. So my message to the haters is go to hell. It's none of your business. If you're an Asian guy and if your girlfriend's being taken by a white guy, you have my sympathy, but it's not my fault. Sure, hate that guy, but don't take it out on every single Western man. If you're a Western feminist, then don't judge people before you know them, before you know their personal situation. I'm not saying there aren't examples where there are Western men who might only be in it because they want to control women. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but I contend that you can get that in any sort of relationship. And I'm not saying some women aren't gold diggers, they are. But again, it's a gross unfair generalization to say that they all are. So yeah, my summary of this video is relationships should be about free choice. And it really is no one's business, the people involved. And if you look at other people and you say, oh, they shouldn't be together, then I have news for you. You're an ignorant bigot. And that's all you are. You have no moral high ground. You're just an ignorant bigot who thinks that they know the whole story. Now, you may be concerned about one particular relationship if the person involved in that is a friend of yours, fair enough. But don't make a generalization of all these relationships, because I'm seeing this backlash and it's pissing me off. Because the people who have a problem with this are just small-minded people. They call guys like me losers. Well, who is the real loser? Someone who's trying to get on with their life and be happy, or the control freaks who are trying to dictate to him who he should and shouldn't be with? Go to hell. Really. Because I have no malicious intent towards anyone. I just want to have happiness, which is a fundamental human right. And you have no right to tell me or anyone else who we shouldn't and shouldn't be with. So I'll leave it at that.